Hi, my name is Faridah Abdelfattah. I'm a grade 5 student in Constable Danial, Woodall School, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And today I'm going to talk about the Nile River and Egypt's rightful access to the Nile's water. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. The Nile River is the waterway that links the 11 countries of the Nile Basin, that covers 11 African countries. The Nile is the main water source in all these countries, which its water is pumped from two tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile, which is the primary spring of 90% of water and salt that floods at Lake Tana in Ethiopia, and the two rivers join in northern Khartoum, the capital of Sudan. Nevertheless, Lake Victoria is still regarded as the main source of the Nile River. The Nile in Egypt extends from the northern limits of Lake Nasser in Aswan to the north of Cairo, where the Nile is divided into two branches. 100 million Egyptians now live along the Nile or in its delta, and it supplies almost all their drinking water. Over 95% of Egypt's territory is desert with almost no rainfall. The Nile cuts through the center of the country, provided fertile land along its banks to the ancient Egyptians, along the formation of the first nation state in world's history. The Nile was the boundary between life and death in the creed of the ancient Egyptians, and along its banks they built their magnificent temples. According to a treaty signed in 1959 between Egypt and Sudan, the two downstream countries in the Nile Basin, to which Ethiopia declined to accede, Egypt is entitled to 55 billion cubic meters of water from the Nile each year, an allocation that now must suffice a population that has grown fivefold since the date the treaty was signed. Egypt is now well below the international water level of 1,000 cubic meters of water per person per year, with this standing at 575 cubic meters per person. Ethiopia is developing a 6,000 megawatt power plant at the Ethiopian Dam, and is expected to begin a second filling of the reservoir when the next rainy season begins in July. Egypt and Sudan have repeatedly condemned a unilateral action by Ethiopia in creating the planned 74 billion cubic meter reservoir and want the three nations to agree on steps for the filling and operation first. Egypt fears the dam will decrease its supplies of the Nile water, while Sudan is concerned about the dam's safety and water flows through its own dams and water stations. With no filling agreement, 150 million humans will be endangered in both countries. Abdelfattah al-Sisi, president of Egypt, stated, "Egypt is a gift of the Nile, and everything must be done to guarantee Egypt's rightful access to the Nile's water." Ethiopia is trying to cause 150 million people to die of thirst. Ethiopia تحاول قتل 150 مليون إنسان عطشا. From Egyptian child Faridah Abdelfattah.